Hey guys, Jay again. Today I want to talk to you guys about George Romero's Living Dead series. I'm not really gonna go too deep into them, not really reviewing them today. I might do that at some point later on down the road, but right now I just wanted to go through them just for anybody out there who hasn't ever seen any of them. Um, Basically just to give my thoughts of why I enjoy them, not so much critique or review, like I said before. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna start with the first one here. Um, George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. This movie came out in 1968, basically. It was his very first big picture, I believe it was. I think it was his first, yeah. It was filmed in black and white. Um, this for anybody out there who's really not a fan of the black and white. Don't let that turn you away from this movie because at some point, I mean, you kind of forget that it's even in black and white. I know they came out some few years back with the whole colorized version. To be honest, I don't like the colorized version of this movie. I really like it in black and white because that in itself sets the tone for how this movie plays out. Do want to talk about because this here that I have in my hand is the 40th anniversary edition of it. On it, it has the two featurette audio commentaries. One features George Romero by himself, and the other is cast and crew on it. I've listened to the one with George Romero. Haven't really listened to the one with the cast on it. Let's see, there's a feature-length documentary about the movie. I watched that as well. That was pretty good too. There's a Q&A with George Romero on it. Also, there's the last interview with actor star Ben Dwayne Johnson. Uh, Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Jones. Sorry about that. Um, Also, there's a theatrical trailer, some original stills, and also if you put it into your computer, there's a DVD ROM version of the original script. Like I said, I didn't really want to go too deep into it. I might do that at some other point, but there's Night of the Living Dead. All right. Next up is 1978 follow-up, Dawn of the Dead. You know, it's basically his epic zombie film. Is pretty much the one that's looked at as being the top echelon when it comes to zombie films today. In large part induced to this movie right here. Like I said, it came out in 1978. It was very advanced for its time as far as like the makeup effects, who were done perfectly by Tom Savini and his team. On this one, let's see, the special features consist of the audio commentary with writer director George Romero himself, special makeup artist and icon in the horror community Tom Savini, assistant director and George Romero's wife Chris Romero, and the guy Perry Martin, who was a moderator on it. I listened to this movie a few times with the commentary on, and I really wasn't too impressed with this moderator Perry Martin asking a lot of questions. It's better to just have everyone just talking freely, but that's I'll talk about probably another time when I do the actual review of this movie. There's a few theatrical trailers, a few TV spots, some radio spots, some poster and advertising stuff, a bio of George Romero, and then there's a comic book preview also. Now, I really would love to have the ultimate cut, I think is what it's called, that has the more like the special features, I believe. Not really sure because I know it's a few different versions of this film out. There's the longer version, and then there's the shorter version, and everything. I'm not sure if anybody really knows the different versions. Just leave me a comment, or and let me know exactly which ones are, because I really would like to upgrade to the one that has all the special features on it, but I don't know exactly which one is which. So, like I said, if anybody has that information, just shoot me a comment and let me know. Okay, so that's George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. All right, next up is His 1985 follow-up to that, which was Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead, basically, you could say it is getting down to the end of civilization in this movie. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too much into it. I mean, let's see. On this the features are the writer director George Romero. Tom Savini is back again doing commentary as well. Production designer Cletus Anderson and star Laurie Cardinale. That's one audio commentary. There's a second audio commentary as well with filmmaker writer Roger Avery of Pulp Fiction and Killing Zoe fame. Now, I really enjoyed the audio commentary with Roger Avery because he's talking more from a fan standpoint opposed to being because he wasn't a film he wasn't on the film or anything like that. So he really talks from it as a fan point of view. It's basically a commentary, something similar to probably what I would do or anything, or probably someone out there would do, and everything like that. And I really enjoy his take on the movie. Like I say, that's Day of the Dead right there. Okay, so moving on to the next. Now, I really didn't like the fact that I had to get this version of this next one here. Because I kind of got my hand forced in a way because they didn't have it in a single package. But here it is, basically Land of the Dead, but it's packaged as you can see with the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Okay, so basically Land of the Dead is almost, well, it is at this point the last of the series. That is until a few years later, which was I think this year or was last year one that Survival of the Dead came out, but I'll talk about that a little later. Um, this one, like I said, was packaged with the remake of Dawn of the Dead, which I already owned, so I kind of had to buy it again in a way, and I kind of sold that Dawn of the Dead off to someone else. But anyway, Land of the Dead. The features contain it's a featurette with George Romero, his commentary on the film. A few deleted scenes, the making of. Let's see what else here. There was also a first call session with actor star John Leguizamo. Some behind the scene footage of the zombie effects. Let's see what else here. Some There's a feature also with Greg Nicotero of KMB. Let's see, there's a few storyboard features. There's a music video as well, and also some zombie screen tests were also on this one. Like I say, didn't really like the fact that it was packaged with the Dawn of the Dead remake, but hey, I had to get Land anyway, so didn't really matter to me. Um, Also, but I do like the little cover art. Cover art's kind of cool. I always like this when Land of the Dead, when the zombies, they come up out of the water. It's almost like scene from Apocalypse Now when Martin Sheen comes up out the water. So I always liked that. Like I said, so that's Land of the Dead. All right, so moving on. Now, the way I want to do this now is oh, almost forgot. Before I go there, I have to go with the reboot version of Night of the Living Dead that came out in 1990. Now, Night of the Living Dead, the remake, that was it's totally different than the original, which of course I mean it's filmed in color this time. It's not done in black and white. Of course, I did hear a story where Tom Savini wanted to make the film slowly go from I think it was from black and white to color or go from color to black and white. Either way, it was something like that. Excuse me. So yeah, matter of fact, Tom Savini directed this version of it. Um, let's see. George Romero wrote this version and he produced, but somehow Tom Savini ended up directing. And Tom Savini did a pretty good job directing this movie as well. He showed that he wasn't just known. He's not just a special effects person. Man, he also has some directing talents as well. This one has a little bit more action than the original version, which I can understand why. I mean, they had to update it and change things around also. And like I said, that's a Night of Living Dead remake. So there you go. All right. Now, after what was it? Dawn Dawn of the Dead remake. They asked the man himself, George Romero, to come back and do, some more zombie movies. So after Land, he did. He basically started the series over, which I didn't understand why. I mean, he could just did another sequel, with the world already going to hell or whatever. But he decided to take it back to the beginning with Diary of the Dead. Now I know Diary of the Dead gets a lot of flack and everything like that, but and deservingly so with the whole handheld camera boom that came about with such films like Cloverfield and Wreck or Quarantine for anyone who's never seen Wreck. I know he decided to go that route with it. Like I said, I'm not going to go too much into it. I will at a later date. Just talk about the special features. It contains, once again, commentary track with George Romero, DP, the director of photography, Adam Swick, I think that's how you pronounce it, Swick. I'm not sure about that, and editor Michael Doherty. One thing I didn't like about this commentary is the fact that they're not together on this one. It's like George Romero's in one place, Adam is in another, and then Michael Doherty is in another place as well. So I didn't really like that. Also, there's a feature-length documentary on the film's cast and crew and the creation of the film. There's also a behind-the-scenes inspiration for the film. Also, the first week on set documentary. Also, the cameo voices that you hear throughout the film, they show you exactly the process that they did by filming that, which was pretty neat. Also, there's a MySpace contest winner featurette here. And also there's some character confessionals. Anyone who's seen the film, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That like the whole talking head interviews that a few of the characters done. They kind of extended versions of that. So there's Diary of the Dead. Okay, and then last but not least, even though George Romero did not make this film, he didn't. I don't. Yeah, he didn't have too much to do with this film. He did give the film its praise, but it was directed by Zack Snyder and written by James Gunn, and that is the Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay, now this was the one that pretty much you could say got George Romero back into doing zombie films and everything because of how successful this remake is. And to be honest, it is one of the better remakes that you will see out there in recent years. Just talk about some of the special features that it contains here. There's an audio commentary track with director Zack Snyder and producer Eric Newman. There's some deleted scenes. Also, there's a feature length, you can say a short basically, dealing with the news coverage that covers the whole zombie outbreak, apocalypse, if you will, which was that was done pretty well too, actually. Also, there's a 15-minute lost tape of our good buddy from the other building in the film, Andy, where basically it chronicles his whole time of the outbreak and everything. Also, one thing I realized when I was looking at the cover of this, it's not widescreen, it's full screen. I did not notice that until I was looking at this earlier, and I noticed that it said full screen. So maybe I'm gonna have to get the widescreen version because I like widescreen. Plus, it's the director's cut version, which was pretty good too. Um, so basically, yeah, that's basically all of the Dead movies, and like I said, I just want to do the video real quick on that, and yeah, so see you guys next time. Peace.